Hello, welcome to our series on no drama real estate sales. My name is Dianne Langston, and I am the broker of quality real estate services in Fairfield. I have 31 years experience in real estate sales, and I want to talk to you today about foreclosure. Foreclosure can be very scary if you have been the recipient of a letter from your lender or a notice that they're going to begin foreclosure proceedings. However, I'm here to give you some relief and to encourage you as to how to resolve this situation with no drama. There are four alternatives to foreclosure that you need to be aware of, and I'm going to go over them for you right now. The first alternative to foreclosure is forbearance. And forbearance is a process whereby the lender allows you to catch up the delinquent payments. Now, for example, you are $10,000 behind in your monthly mortgage payment. Maybe the lender will allow you to pay $1,000 additional every month with your regular payment for 10 months until the delinquency of $10,000 is made up, therefore bringing your loan back to a state where it is no longer delinquent and there is no need for foreclosure proceedings. That is number one, forbearance. Number two is a process that most of us are familiar with today because it's talked about widely in the media and talked about among our friends, and that is the loan modification. And this is a process whereby your lender may modify the terms of the loan that you originally obtained from them. Maybe, for example, we would look at something like your payment is $5,000 and your lender would agree that going forward, your payment would be $3,000 permanently. There are permanent modifications, there are temporary modifications, and we won't go into all of that, but know that the loan modification is an alternative to foreclosure because once you and your lender work this out and agree to it, they will no longer foreclose on you. Now, the third alternative to foreclosure is the deed in lieu of foreclosure. You may have heard of this, or maybe you might know someone who entered into this transaction with their lender. And this is a process whereby you deed the property back over to your lender. You give the property back to them, title back to them. But it's not as simple as you just signing on the dotted line and here, this is yours. You have to not have any tax liens, judgments, or any kind of encumbrances, legal encumbrances on the title to your property when you give it back to the lender. So that's very, very important to consider if you would be interested in a deed in lieu of foreclosures, that there can be no encumbrances, no liens on the property. You're going to give the property back to the lender free and clear. That is called the deed in lieu of foreclosure. And foreclosure alternative number four, one that is very popular and one that I'm sure you have heard of, is the short sale. And the short sale is a process whereby your lender agrees that even though you're underwater, even though there's not enough value in the property to repay the mortgage that you originally obtained, he is willing to take today's value for the property and accept that as payment in full in terms of what you owe. And in the most abbreviated form, these are your four alternatives to foreclosure. Again, they are forbearance, which allows you to catch up your payments, bring your loan back to a positive state, and return to business as usual. The second is the loan modification, which many thousands of people have done. This allows the terms of your loan to be changed, and possibly the payment that you were making that you couldn't afford will now be reduced. That's loan modification. Third is the deed in lieu of foreclosure, and this involves your returning legal ownership of the property back over to the bank, lender, or party of which you actually owe, has a lien against you and you owe money to. And fourth, last but certainly not least, is the short sale, which allows you to exit the property with dignity, allows you to settle the debt with the loan, irrespective of the fact that the value of the property may not be exactly what you owe on the property. The lender agrees to sell it short. Again, I'm Dianne Langston with Quality Real Estate Services, and we're happy to bring you 4 alternatives to foreclosure.